What's up everybody, Sam Smyers here. Today I want to talk about Kickstart 2, which is an awesome upgrade of the original Kickstart. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, and also please go ahead and give this video a like if you do enjoy it. So if you're not familiar with Kickstart, it is a sidechaining tool that was developed by Nicky Romero and Cable Guys, and this is the first time that the plugin has been updated to Kickstart 2. The concept of Kickstart 2 is that it is a volume ducking plugin. This works a bit differently than using a compressor to sidechain like your kick and your bass together, because this actually takes the volume level and it ducks it according to these various shapes or these various curves that you can select within the plugin. Now, if I open up Kickstart 2 along with Kickstart, we can see that they look very similar. They change the colors, and then there's some additional features. One thing that I do like is I can actually make this bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger, and then we can go through everything that is new. So we have the mix knob where I can adjust the level of the sidechain. I can change the curves. I can change the length of the notes. And then I can also adjust where the curve is, so I can move it back and forth, and I can move it even further, and then I can reset it. And then there's this MIDI option here where you can actually take a MIDI track, draw in the MIDI where the kicks are, and then route that MIDI to this plugin, and that would function as the trigger. But I never really did that because I didn't want to deal with routing the MIDI and drawing in the MIDI. I usually just did this sync option. And then if there was a section in my song where there wasn't a kick, then I would just automate this plugin off. So the new thing about this plugin is that there is this audio option. So now I can select audio, and now I can actually route a kick to my plugin. So I can go down to my sidechain here and actually route my kick to the plugin. And now my kick is actually going to trigger one of these curves here. So let me go ahead and play my audio now. So we see this yellow waveform, that's going to be our kick waveform, and then the white is going to be the synth waveform. And you hear now that it's just being triggered when that kick is hitting. Because I just have 3 kicks here in this random pattern. And what is also cool is I can actually drag the curve left or right. And now that I can see the actual audio of the kick, I can really fine tune where that synth comes back up in level. There's also this slider here, which determines where that sidechain level stops. So this curve here, this is going to be the max level, and this little slider stops it, so you hear that synth stay at the max level. If I drag it all the way to the right here, then you can hear that the synth essentially turns off because we see this curve, it takes it back down. And then it just waits for the next time that kick hits to trigger the curve again. So you can drag this left or right to determine what level your audio will sustain at. So you can play around with that depending on whatever the curve is. There's also this option to loop it or turn off the loop. And essentially, if you have a audio there, if you have this kick here, then it'll just start looping this sidechain, so at a quarter note, until there is another trigger that comes in, but we don't really need that because I want it to be triggered every time there is a one shot or there's audio coming in. Now I have a bass loaded up, and let's go ahead and play the bass with kick. So now this is awesome because I can see where the kick is, where the bass is, and I can get that bass to really pump along with that kick. So that sounds great, but what if I have a bass that has a bit of top end that I really don't want to duck? So let's say I have this bass here. And it has that crunchiness in the top end, and I don't really want that to duck because if I turn on my Kickstart and I have that duck, then it gives a really nice pumping effect, but maybe I don't want that pumping effect. So I can actually turn on this band slider here, and this determines the frequencies that the Kickstart 2 is going to duck. So I could choose to only have frequencies below 200 Hertz be ducked. And then I can hit this little headphone button and listen to those frequencies. So let's say around there, I want to duck out of the way, and let's go ahead and check it out. So now I still have the crunchiness from that bass, but I'm also clearing up any of the low end from that bass to make room for the kick. So when you hear this in a full mix, it's going to have some nice space for that kick, but you're still going to get that downbeat, that crunchiness from the bass without it having the pumping effect. So that is another cool thing that they added, and I'm glad that they did this because otherwise I would have had to use a multi-band compressor and then use that multi-band compressor as a sidechain. And this just makes it so much easier to be all within the Kickstart. Kickstart is definitely my favorite sidechaining tool, and so these upgrades to Kickstart 2 are pretty simple upgrades, but I think that they add a lot of impact to the plugin itself. And I believe it was only $5 for me to upgrade to this Kickstart 2, so it is definitely worth it if you do have the first Kickstart to go ahead and upgrade to Kickstart 2. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a like, and also please consider subscribing to my channel. If you do want to improve your mixing skills, then check out my Modern Mix Academy. This is going to be a full online mixing course that I created that will help you make some of the best mixes of your life from the comfort of your own home. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.